Going? Okay, so I'm going to make two pre-ferments, and I'm going to make and I'm going to feed my starter. So the two pre-ferments, I'm going to make one for bread and then one for pizza. So for bread, I'm going to zero out the scale, and I'm going to put 100 grams of flour in here. I have a flour container, but it doesn't hold 5 pounds, so I usually have leftover. Okay, there's 100 grams of flour in that one. And in this one, I'm going to put 50 grams of flour. Because I've been wanting to make some pizzas. There. So that's 50 and 100. Now to each, I'm going to add the same amount of water. So 50 grams of water here. Goes pretty fast. That's 53. That's okay. And 100 grams of water here. Okay. Now for the starter. I line these with bread bags so I don't make everything a mess. So now 100 grams of starter, which is kind of messy. That's 103, but that's okay. And I try to clean up the messes along the way because they seem to multiply. And now 50 grams of starter in this one. I just made another mess. Stop it. Okay. 50 grams of starter. And what the pre-ferment does is it gets the dough really hydrated, and that means it mixes easier and you need less water when you make the final dough. Okay, so there's 50 grams in that. Now I just mix them up. I have a little silicone thing that helps me clean off the spoon. This is worth it. And what I find is when I'm mixing up with raw flour, if I scrape the spoon, I'll find raw flour stuck to it. So I want to make sure I don't have too much raw flour going. And then I'll mix this one up. This is for bread. This will make 4 500-gram loaves of bread. This will make 4 10-inch pizzas. get somebody to put these on. Okay, so then I close them up, and I have these really thick trivets that I set them on because the counter is cold. So now comes feeding the starter. I'm going to zero that out. Okay, and this is a little bread maker's trick. I'm going to put 25 grams of rye flour in here. Rye flour is like superfood for the starter. Yeah, it's close enough. This is not rocket science, so close is close. And then I'm going to finish off the 100 grams with bread flour. I hope I have enough bread flour here. Okay, so that's 100 grams of total flour. Now I'm going to add 100 grams of water. I'm going to take the same spoon. And I tend to dig deep. Now, I didn't throw any away because I used the discard to make my pre-ferment. So no waste. Okay, now this starter is going to sit, well, it's going to sit out all day and it's going to expand, so I'm going to put it in a plastic container too. The glass containers are okay because they have plastic lids that will pop off if the pressure gets too high. And I use these little plastic containers. And believe me, when I started doing this, I wasn't using any plastic containers and it was quite a mess. Now what I'll do is I'll feed this down. And I'll get it about half full. I don't want to go crazy because I know it's going to grow. And then I'll leave the plastic out like that. I'll cover it. And I'll put that on a big trivet. And this, since it's been a couple of weeks since it got washed, I'll put it in the sink and Jennifer will wash it. So it's Saturday morning, it's about 10 o'clock. These are all going to sit out all day. We're going to go to El Tecolote and we'll go back to Mom's house and we'll probably get back here at maybe 8 o'clock tonight, I don't know. At 8 o'clock tonight, I'll make dough out of these two. You'll get to see my super duper mixer. Or I'll make this one by hand because the pizza dough doesn't like the mixer. It's very gentle. It uses a 00 flour. Okay, and then these are to sit out all day. And then tonight when I get home, I'll put this one back in the clean jar, wrap up the plastic and stick it in the refrigerator. This jar has this is a nice little jar. It has a thing that locks it down and a little sealing ring. And the first time I used it, I put the sealing ring on and I locked it down and I took it out, and it was full to the top, and when I opened it up, it exploded out of the top. There was so much pressure in there. So this was ready to blow up in the refrigerator. So now I don't do that. I just wrap the plastic over it, and I let the weight of the lid hold it down. So if it does bubble over, it'll just push it up. Okay, it's got a lot of power. Okay, tonight I'll show you how to make dough.